next thing is armoured car, and this troop carrier appeared, soldiers all over the place. Oh boy, that was me. Then well and truly in the custody of the Turkish army. And I went away, got photographed, fingerprinted, grilled by the Turkish FBI.
What were they asking?
And then put through court and released.
Is that right?
Well, the first thing they asked me was I in touch with the local terrorists, PKK?
Oh, I see. They thought you were maybe
That was the big one.
with them, right? Okay.
That was the big one. And that was a suspicion all along.
And what did you say? No, I have no political aims whatsoever.
I said, higher. In fact, çok büyük higher, which in Turkish means a very big no. And then they just searched my gear and loaded me up and took me away.
And they put you through court.
Yeah, official court of the town.
How did that go?
No problem, it was just a sort of procedural thing. They were never going to... They already said the sentence before they took me through the court. It was like a kangaroo court in reverse. Just went through the procedure and then let me go. Last thing I want to do is get a bad name for doing things on tourists. Because tourism is big money. And that was it. 3 to go.
If they'd if they'd decided to be nasty, they could have taken you somewhere and nobody might have known, been any the wiser.
Well, that would have been difficult considering many witnesses.
Yeah.
were
So
there
what
and
sort
no
of,
one-
and the people who came with this guide, who were they? Just Europeans?
They were actually Polish, that group. Polish
Oh,
climbers.
So
15
they didn't
Polish.
help you either then?
But they didn't know I was under arrest the whole period I was there. I was told by the fellow, don't let on you're under arrest. And I was really, when I was letting it slip, you know, they didn't understand why I was with them or not allowed to climb the mountain. The next day they climbed the mountain, and they had a spare set of crampons. And he says, well, we got a spare set, why don't you come up? And I was asking the guy, listen, since I'm here, why don't you just let me climb? And he wouldn't. No.
Because they thought you were in cahoots with the PKK.
No, he was just spiteful. He was a selfish guy.
No, they're still looking for money. They're all looking for money. Corrupt.
Yeah, exactly. If I ever offered him some dosh, he would have let me go.
You're just a corrupt guy.
You're right there.
But you could have given.
Never had it in my head. But everybody doesn't come into my head. Somebody says no, that's it. I just think that the solution is no.
Well, you could have said, I'll give you $5 or so.
Yeah, that's right. What he said was, well, it would look bad for me if I've got you in custody just now. If I let you climb the mountain and you got hurt, so I'm not going to let you. You're just going to have to stay here in the camp.
So you never got up to top of Ararat this time, apart from the 300 yards away?
I wouldn't have gone up the top anyway. I was only wanting to go to the other place where the ark was.
Right.
This Ararat anomaly. And it was 300 yards of easy walking, you know, it was a infuriating thing. And all that stopped me was this slope of ice that was, if you'd slipped, it looked like if you slipped on it you were never going to stop, and who knows what was over the edge when you fell, you know, maybe hundreds of feet of drop with rocks.
I know, you cannot risk that.
I actually climbed very high without crampons before that, and it was
What
a
is
definite.
crampons? What is
That's the spikes you put in your feet.
Alright. Why did you not take them with you? Why did you leave them somewhere?
I'll tell you why, because
It's heavy.
every time I've been up there before, there was snow, and crampons weren't essential, and when there's snow you can just walk in it, you don't slip. Crampons have to stop you slipping, you grip the ice, but this time it was just sheer ice like glass. And I was using it, all I had was a stick. It was a stick actually for beating off the dogs, and I was actually using that to stop me slipping. That's what I was using to get me so far. Got within 100 yards of the top like that until the ice got so solid and icy, even the stick wouldn't go into it. And if I had slipped in, there was a slide of ice for about 300 yards and then a huge drop into a cavern where you'd have been splattered. So it was pretty hairy.
Yeah. Oh well.
It was at rock falls all the time.
But who do you have to pay to get it? Is there not sort of a local post office you can sort of?
No.
Well, I don't know how.
Officially, you're meant to get government permission. But the truth of the matter is, Turkey's run in such a way that the army have a huge say. And they have the final say if you're going to get up that mountain or not. And even if you have government permission to climb, the army will turn around and say you're not getting up there.
Well, why do you not go straight to the army? Said I.
Yeah, exactly. But the army are going like this. Yeah, we'll let you up, but hand over the cash and we'll let you go.
Aye, but if you hand it over for somebody else to give you a permit, it is the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Different?
No, it's not the same thing. These guys are, you have to hire a guide to come up with you by law.
Yeah.
And you are actually hiring a guide. You're not paying for them for the permission except for their trouble to get you the permission. And it's not a bribe, you're paying them to do a job. But it turns out that a lot of the army guys have got their hands like this. Yeah, I'll give you permission, but give me a few quid. So there's a lot of that going on, and I point blank refused to pay the next time. And the funny thing is, he first of all lowered the price, and then he just said, "Oh, well, on you go then." He gave us permission for nothing. Went another couple of times after that. But
What, after this day?
after that one.
Then still a couple of other times up.
Yeah.
When you get up,
And no
is that
hassle.
where you want to
Well,
go?
this time
Or you took the guys?
I took a guide with me this time. Well, it's totally illegal not to. And if I'd gone up there alone again and they'd caught me,
In big
I
trouble.
would have been in jail. So I wasn't going to risk that. And it would have been like making a mockery of them, you know, just despising their rules. So I went up with this friend of mine with his gun. Oh, he doesn't like climbing that mountain without a gun. And you know, funny thing, there's a wee village just at the highest village probably on the mountain. No, Tulivisa is a big town. The wee village up high, and it's probably only got an inhabitant of about 40 people or something less. And there's always people there every time I go through it. All the time you go through it. This time the two of us went up there, and it was totally deserted.
Aye, how's that?
Totally, we didn't know at that point, but except for a dog that had been freshly killed. And it was really odd. This dog bleeding, dead, and not a soul around. What on earth has happened here? Turned out the soldiers had cleared the village out because they had been helping the terrorists.
The PKK.
Yeah, it's cleared them out, got them all down to the Dog Basin.
Right.
And to us it was really weird, creepy stuff. It was only when we met a shepherd later on he told us basically what had happened. And somebody shot the dog because it was eating the pet rabbits, not the pet rabbits, but the rabbits they were keeping. It was very strange. And then the weather just turned against us. Couldn't climb. It got so foggy, and I'm not exaggerating, you couldn't see more than 10 yards sometimes.
And who was this friend? The one you met the first time?
It was
Molly.
my main accomplice when I'm over there.
The one who was it, or did he repair bicycles or something?
No, it was somebody else. That was Musa, that's another friend of mine. Two different characters. They've both got their errors, one way or another. Yeah. Metin that was with me then just got his uses in a distinct way. He's a tough guy. He's very ready to hit people with his fists, and he would love to shoot somebody. So he's very handy to barge his way into things.
Except for the soldiers.
Well, he wouldn't do that. He's not that daft. Actually, the first climb, no, the last climb we did, the weather got so bad. At day 3, 11,000 feet, he said, after a night out, he said, "I'm going back down. This weather's not going to break, and it's only going to get worse. You better come too." And I said, "No, I'm going to hang about, and this is my last chance. I'm going to wait and see what clears." And he headed off down, and he said that day, I found out later on, he went into a shepherd camp expecting to get normal hospitality, like you normally do. And instead they started getting a bit aggressive with him and demanding money and food. And he was saying, "Well, I haven't got any money, and I give all the rest of the food to the fellow that's still up there." And they were still being aggressive with him. And he says, "Are you going to kill me then?" Because they had a shotgun with him. And apparently one of the shepherds said,